All right, back with our former player and scout Bucky Brooks. You're headed to Indy. Excited for the combine?
I am excited. I'm excited to see what's happening.
Should be a lot of good players there. We're going to break down some guys to watch, a quarterback, a wide receiver, running back, and a defensive player. Not necessarily the best at their position, but somebody that can help themselves potentially. Let's start at the quarterback position.
Christian Hackenberg. I think Christian Hackenberg is the most polarizing quarterback prospect in this draft class. He has everything that you look for at the position. Size, arm strength, has a nice pedigree in terms of he played under a pro-style coach and Bill O'Brien, had success as a freshman. Has been maddenly inconsistent the last couple years. Took a lot of sacks. You don't like the decision making, but the combine is a place that really plays to his strengths. You'll get a chance to see his physical tools, and I think he can change the narrative on his talents and his potential if he performs well in Indianapolis.
Bucky, this is a guy a couple years ago. He was supposed to be the #1 pick in the draft this April.
He was supposed to be the #1 pick, and when people go back and they look at his freshman year under Bill O'Brien and a pro-style system, he looked the part. And so he can kind of change the narrative by going back, dropping back, firing tightrope throws, and really dazzling people with his arm talent. If he does that, people are going to be more willing to dig a little deeper, and maybe he can be a guy that goes higher than we think.
All right, at the running back position, we had two guys drafted in the first round last year for the first time in a really long time. Who are you looking at there?
Alex Collins from Arkansas. Alex Collins is a guy that's kind of flying under the radar. There's been a lot of conversation about Ezekiel Elliott and Derrick Henry, but this is a guy that I had a scout tell me he is the best running back in the draft.
Wow.
Physical runner, 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons at Arkansas, can get it done running in between the tackles. The thing that he has to show scouts is, can he catch the ball out the backfield? How natural is he as a receiver? If he can show those traits, he's going to be someone that might sneak into the conversation in the first round.
Alex Collins, the top running back.
Absolutely. I had to make sure I heard it right. I had to ask him again. He believes that he's the most complete. He can run it inside and outside, is dynamic, had a lot of success against top defense in the SEC. And so when you look at the track record, he is someone that can get it done.
All you need is one person to believe in you.
That's all it does.
Who are you looking at the wide receiver position?
Will Fuller. Will Fuller is someone coming out of Notre Dame, is someone that is intriguing. He's a big play talent. And so I don't think he's a classic #1 receiver, meaning he can't anchor the passing game. But in terms of a complementary player, a guy that can be the vertical threat, he absolutely can bring that to the table. Outstanding speed and burst, consistently separates from coverage down the field. The biggest thing, his hands. He's kind of a 50-50 catch guy. You don't know if he's going to consistently bring the ball in. If he can show scouts that he can catch the ball consistently and looks natural doing it, he can be a guy that certainly helps himself because there's no one in the draft that can make the kind of plays that he can make over top of the defense, but he kind of has that Ted Ginn factor. A little inconsistent. When he makes plays, he makes big plays, but when he doesn't, the drops are epic. He has to make sure that he's consistent catching the ball.
All right, so if he has a good combine, where can he get himself to?
I think he's already in the conversation as a top 40 pick. I don't know if he can sneak into the first round, but he's a guy that can stretch the defense. And normally we see those speed guys go early in the top of the second round. I think that's where he is. But if he has a really good combine, maybe changes the where he sits, maybe he goes in the bottom of the first round.
On defense, you're looking at a guy in the secondary right now.
Jalen Ramsey from Florida State. Look, I have an unabashed man crush on him in terms of how he plays the game. Versatile player, physical, nasty, high football IQ, can play safety, can play corner, can play in the slot. He has a lot of things that he brings to the table. Outstanding track and field athlete, won the long jump in the 2015 ACC Track and Field Championships. So the Underwear Olympics, is somewhere where he can shine. I think he has an opportunity to be the first defensive player taken in the draft if he puts on a spectacular performance.
The Underwear Olympics. First player taken, could that be #1?
Tennessee would be an intriguing spot because, look, if they don't take an offensive tackle at Laramie Tunsil to protect Marcus Mariota, yes, you have Joey Bosa sitting there, but you also have Jalen Ramsey. Joey Bosa may not be a great fit in that defense, in that scheme. Ramsey's a guy that's versatile in the back end. You think about what Dick LeBeau was able to do with Troy Polamalu. Maybe Jalen Ramsey can sneak in there and be that player.
Jalen Rose had a good career as well. Ramsey, the first true freshman to start a quarterback at FSU since our guy Prime.
Prime time. How about that?
Speaking of prime time, our coverage begins on NFL Now. On Wednesday, Bucky will be there with the crew.
How about that? It's kind of crazy.